Welcome to the Play-Based Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Kristen R.B. Peterson, and maybe your new teacher bestie that is here to hype you up, maybe give you a motivating kick in the pants, and teach you all I know about play and childhood. I am here to help you challenge old and outdated practices and inspire you to create a truly developmentally appropriate early childhood environment that fosters creativity, curiosity, and joy in the children that you care for. Let's set the stage for a lifelong love of learning. Let's get going. Welcome to the Play-Based Learning Podcast. I told you I was going to open differently now every time. I don't know. We'll see if I remember. Okay, we have Beverly Beck for part 3 of our creativity series. And I am not going to say any more because she wants to do the intro.
So I would like to say something to Kristen. It came to me the night when I was falling asleep, and I thought it's too funny not to say. So
Okay.
I was like, are you ready? Are you ready?
No, I'm not ready. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the artist formerly known as Kristen R.B. Peterson. She is creative confetti, a true inspiration, a rule breaker, a movement maker, bright and bubbly, awesome and lovely. Now let's celebrate her new name, Kristen Renee Day, an advocate and expert all about learning through play.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, thanks. And so hey, you just got in on, like, maybe you've seen, I'm talking to the listeners. So if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen some changes around there. I am legally changing. And as of this podcast recording, it's not changed yet. It will change in 2 weeks. My new official legal name will be Kristen Day. And I'm so excited. Just shedding the old, welcoming in the new, and just, yeah. So I'm just so excited for a new, fresh, light chapter.
Yeah.
I love that.
Amazing. I think it totally suits you, and I think it rhymes with play, which is amazing.
Right?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
didn't do that on purpose.
But it just fits because it's creative. You're creative and it works, and your friends are creative and awesome. So yeah. I think it's lovely. You might think it's silly, but it just came to me, and I was like, I just think of these random things that rhyme. I don't know why rhyming. I just love it, and it just it just came to me.
Yes, I love that. That was so cute. I had recorded the video. I recorded it. If you didn't see that, I was recording.
It's okay. Stop. Don't worry. You can put my crazy all over the place.
All right. We are talking about getting into flow, getting into creative flow as adults, getting into play as adults, and what that looks like for each of us. And maybe you can take some tips and tricks away that we do. Because I mean, like, we're the coolest creative people out there. So just I'm sure there's plenty of other very creative people out there. There are. But I pride myself on being creative and being, like, playful and living my life in play. So it's like the foundation of who I am. Yeah.
And like, why not? Because
why not?
life's hard enough, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's
so
tell me. Okay. Do you have some?
No, you're fine. I was thinking that since we've done the series, the 1, 2, 3, that maybe we go back to the quote that we did, that from Pablo Picasso, about every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you remain an artist as you've aged? And also, if they haven't listened to the last 2, we should maybe, like, I feel, and that you don't have to be when you think artist, you think painter, drawer, things like that. you don't that is not a qualification of being creative at all. So you can be creative in many other aspects. I am not a drawer or a painter, and I believe that I am a very creative person. So, um, I just wanted to like add that little thing in there before you tell us how you
Yeah, no,
explore
absolutely. Because
creativity.
yeah, because I am an artist and I've always been like I trained in art and everything, and I've since I was no age I was creating stuff. But
Mhm,
put me on the stage like to talk to people is fine, like if I'm doing a lecture or something. But say if you give me a script and ask me to dance or act, or I literally would pass out with fear. That's not anything that I could do
oh
at
my
all.
gosh, and I
Yeah.
love doing that.
Oh, I know you do. That's why I kind of was, but I just no, no, no,
Mhm.
no. That's not me. Singing, acting, no, that's not me at all. Um, so I suppose for me, it's just about trying to make time to fit it in.
Yeah.
Because I was at the stage there where I haven't done anything in a little while. We had kids, but so and my mum and I, well, my eldest is 10, so that's a decade. And for the first little while, I managed to do a little bit, but honestly, it was so exhausting that I just didn't do anything. And
Mhm.
then we're doing kiddies workshops and doing stuff with the kids all the time, but I haven't really been doing anything for myself, my own creative practice. So the past, I would say, 3 or 4 months maybe, I've kind of taken a wee step back from things and started to draw again and just make marks and just
Mhm.
practice lifting some sort of art materials, whatever sort of comes to me intuitively, and just make some marks and see what happens. Um, I'm just having fun with it because
Yeah.
it's kind of like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
You need to practice and get back into it. And so I'm trying every day or every other day to try and do something that is what I'm creative with, which is drawing, making marks and painting, stuff like that. Um, but also the thing that I have discovered that is probably the most important thing is rest,
Mm.
actually. Because like you said in one of the previous episodes about you washing dishes and then this creative thing comes
Yeah.
to you, like if I manage to get out for a walk by myself and just I'm not thinking about anything else, and then you're actually creative because you're focused on nothing else apart from just walking,
Yeah.
making sure you trip over something.
Right.
It's kind of
Yeah.
so. And pardon me, because I have a neurodivergent brain, my like meditating does not work for me
Okay.
at all. I cannot meditate. I'm too busy. So I use art as my meditative practice as well. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so that is it helps me get in flow, it helps me get in the zone, it helps me think of nothing else but actually doing marks on the paper and making art
Yeah.
and wondering about it and just playing with the materials and seeing what happens and just having a bit of fun. And then the kids see me doing it and then they want to come and join in too. So they've got all my expensive watercolors
Ye-
and they're having to play on my watercolor paper, and I'm just like, it's fine. So, but it's good because then they get to experience those things
They
as well.
do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, what about yourself? What do
Hmm.
you do to stay creative?
So my creativity, it would be interesting to see. So the last episode we chatted about the different types of imagination, and it would be interesting to see where where our creative flow, where they sit underneath those different umbrellas of like the different categories of imagination.
Mm,
Because my style of of play and creativity and keeping my creativity alive and going is very different than yours because like I said, I'm not an artist, like a painting artist or a drawing artist. But okay, so I think that there's some buckets here. So how do I let creativity come to me? I guess is where I'll start. So I can meditate, and so, that works for me sometimes, but my best creative ideas come from two different places. One is laying in the sun on the lake in the
Mm-hmm.
warmth. I generally have music on and that's really it. And sometimes I'm reading and sometimes I'm not. But I feel like most of my creative ideas come during that time. The other way that a lot of creativity, like a lot of creative ideas hit is when I pick up books that um are not necessarily in my field of like that I teach others about. So like I kind of have like two like two things buckets that I teach people. The first is um marketing and digital entrepreneurship and the second is play-based learning, right? So I do a lot of learning and researching in both of those areas. Um but I find a lot of ideas when I'm reading something different. So I might pick up a book, like I have the giant Barbie book that just came out a few months ago. It's like this hardcover pink book, and it's just filled with lots of different outfits. Like I find inspiration and creativity and things like that. Or I have another book that is about it's like 50, they interviewed 50 women entrepreneurs in many different fields, and it's just like a Q&A, and I read that and am inspired and look at the photos, and I might all of a sudden have a really creative idea hit me that I can blend with my industry. So I love looking to what other industries are doing and then bringing some of those things back to the industries that I serve, like a mashup kind of. I mean, that's what that is, creativity, and a couple different
Yeah.
ideas fused together. So um I find mine in that. I also find um digital design is so fun for me. That is play for me, and I can like lose myself in Canva. And I
Yes.
know Canva is not like the tool that like an actual digital artist would use, but I don't know how to use Adobe Illustrator. So I Canva's easy and I love it, and I play around in there all of the time.
Yeah.
So that's play for me as well. Um so yeah, and then I of course like ideas hit me all the time when I'm listening to podcasts in like that maybe are in other industries, or when I'm doing the dishes, or like you when I'm on a walk, when I'm lifting weights, sometimes like ideas will hit. So I think um yeah, that just everybody's way that they are inspired is different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, I
Hmm.
agree. I'm just looking back at the 8 types of imagination that we talked about the last time in episode 2, and I'm just trying to figure out, um, like, are you putting old ideas together to make something new, do you think?
Yeah.
Or, Um, it's fantasy. I think I am using empathy or emotional imagination,
Mm.
where I'm sort of thinking about, or yeah, emotional imagination, where I'm kind of looking at feelings and energy and stuff. Um, there's a little bit maybe your memory imagination, where you're taking old ideas and
Yeah.
things and mixing them up together
Hmm.
to create something new.
Yeah.
So we could look back at that. Um, but some of the things there that you said were actually, um, I have this quote from the book that you actually recommended, Stay Like an Artist. So creative
Mm.
people need time to sit around and do nothing,
Yeah.
from us and Cleon. Because
Mhm.
that's, a lot of both of our things actually come from, um, resting and being able to just get off the hamster wheel and just stop for a minute and empty the 2,000 thoughts that are running about your head every millisecond. And um, yeah, so that kind of leads me on to the thing that I kind of wanted to talk to you about, which is there's 7 types. I learned this very recently too. 7 types of rest to help humans be creative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
This is
this is
fun.
so this is new. So there's physical rest, which we all know about.
Yeah.
So sleep, gentle movement, just chilling out, relaxing. There's also social rest, which is fulfilling social interactions. So being
Hmm.
with people that you enjoy spending time with and sort of filling up your cup that way.
Okay.
Um, for the neurodivergent person, there is also the recovery time from that as well, where you kind of
Yeah.
like to be alone.
Mhm.
There is one called creative rest, which is play,
Mm.
and appreciating the beauty around you. So noticing those little glimmers and things that's like the sun just hitting the water in a certain way, and just thinking, oh, that reminds me of glittery something, or
Yeah.
it sparks an idea and a memory, and then all of a sudden you're thinking about something else. um the next one then is sensory rest. So it could be silence.
Mhm.
um, it can be just disengaging from people, noise, bright lights, all those things. So just being in nature is a good thing, or just trying to have a break from tech and just sit in the
Yeah.
sunlight and just
Yeah.
get your circadian rhythm going. There's spiritual rest, which can be interpreted in lots of different ways. So it can be community, it can be meditation, it can be prayer, it can be um, you just connecting with other people.
Mhm.
Um, and then there's emotional rest, which is just expression of your feelings. Um, so basically, emotional rest helps you process and express your feelings in a healthy way, um, and allows you to sort of tap into those things as a source of inspiration to enrich kind of what you're doing.
Mhm.
It's like an authentic way of resting. And the last one then is mental rest. So things like mindfulness, things like mini breaks and micro breaks,
Mm.
um, just little things that give you a chance to switch your brain off for a little while.
Yeah.
And when I learned about that, I was just like, oh, because you just think rest is just going and putting your feet up or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But actually, there's so much more, you know, to it. And when you think of an adult or you think of a child and you think, actually, if you're say if you're in a school situation or work situation and you're surrounded by artificial lights or you're surrounded by
Mm.
lots of noise, sometimes you just need to come home and decompress and
Mhm.
just not think about anything else, or just sit on your front doorstep and just take in the trees or something. Um,
Right.
so I find that quite interesting
That is
because
interesting. And I know that um well, I know in the United States, and maybe it's different in Ireland, but like people do not let themselves rest.
mhm,
They rest in the old definition that we probably had before we learned about those types, like 7 types of rest. Seven,
uh-huh,
right? It was
yeah,
7.
yeah,
So like we feel guilty if we aren't being productive. That is like this huge like culture that we have, this hustle culture that we have in the United States. Do you feel that's the same in Ireland?
yeah, definitely. In the whole of the UK, I think the whole of um, think the whole of Ireland, I think,
I think,
yeah,
and knowing now that like there's all of those other types of rest, like maybe we can like let ourselves off the hook a little bit
mhm,
because we know that rest is going to lead to like super creativity,
mhm,
and that will then could advance if that's, like if you're doing some sort of if you have a career and you're working towards something that's going to help you in that career or help you in your
yeah,
parenting or help you in life
mhm,
in general. So like maybe knowing that rest is more than just laying down and putting your feet up and
yeah,
reading a book. Um, maybe people can like relax a little bit more into
yeah.
like,
Like the
okay,
house with
rest is so many different things and it's
yeah,
different for everybody. What is going to fill up that rest cup or take away from it?
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think knowing that it's not just, you're not just thinking to yourself, oh, I just can't wait to get home and put my feet up. You're thinking to yourself, okay, how can I take a minute here and have a rest and actually, like, I think, there's loads of research into how relaxed smokers are, but it's only because they're going out and they're doing their breathing exercises. That's
Interesting.
it's
Yeah.
not necessarily, the actual cigarettes. It's the fact they're taking a break and they're actually taking a deep breath in and blowing it out nice and slow. And that is breathing. It's not, it's not a very healthy way to
Interesting.
breathe, but but yeah,
I've
it's
never thought about it that
yeah,
way.
yeah. So
Oh,
it's
okay. Hmm.
so there's so many different ways, like even little things like just taking a break and going outside for a minute, or just taking a breath is will just calm your nervous system down. Like earlier on today, whenever I was feeling a wee bit anxious and stuff, I remembered, so take four in, hold for one, out for eight, hold
Yeah.
for one, and then kept going in a few breaths to just kind of try and calm down my nervous system. And it always helps because
Yeah.
you're coming back to yourself. And I think that's when you're more creative, because you're more receptive to the ideas and looking about around you and connecting with people and bouncing off them and seeing what sort of ideas they have. And you know there's a lot of power in that, being able to just take a step back, I
Yeah.
think, and be creative. I have
Absolutely.
noticed in myself actually the past 3 months that it's given me a little bit more grace with things. Um, so yeah, that's
Hmm.
the one thing I wanted to talk about, to sort of set up some um curiosity around that, to see, what everyone
Yeah.
thinks of that, and how you can integrate that into your own life, and as well as the kids that you're with.
Yeah.
you know, Behavior is communication, and
Yep.
you're communicating as well as the children are communicating. They could be totally sensory overloaded with like gaming and lights and music and noise and cars and all sorts of things, and
Yeah.
you just need a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought that was quite interesting.
Oh
What
my
are your thoughts
gosh,
on
that
that?
is. Hmm. Um, I think, I don't know. I'm still processing it all. Like it's just like you kind of opened up my mind to just like a whole nother set of things to think about. I don't know. I think I'm thinking more, I'm thinking into, my brain is on that. My hope for people in their adult lives is that they live life in play
Mhm.
and find a career, a job, like if you need it, if you have to have a job, um, that you find something that you enjoy doing and that you can play, that's play for you, because I think that that is such a huge part of why I'm, my own definition of successful is
Yeah,
because I play and I 100% love the work that I do. There's obviously always going to be parts of every job that you don't love to do, that aren't play. But for the most part, like I would say 70% of my life is spent in play. And that's amazing. Like that's
yeah,
a good spot to be. And I hope that for all other adults, that they can really tap into that part of life and enjoy it. Like we only get one. So like, unless, I mean, like,
yeah.
you might have past lives and you might have future lives that will be past lives. But you gotta enjoy life. You can't just keep doing something because it's safe. I think that risk taking is a huge part of creativity and imagination and learning and growing. And you've got to take risks in order to really live a life that you love.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I think There's one kind of, I hate to be going back to quotes again, but there's one quote that I just love that is, and you can bring it back to any aspect of creativity, whether it's, um, you know, creative thinking, or whether it's music or dance or art or social interaction. So this quote is, art is the only way to run away from home without leaving home.
Oh, I love that.
It is just, whenever I heard it the first time, I was like, oh yeah, you can
Yeah.
you can create a different reality for yourself.
Yeah.
Your thoughts are everything, really. Your
Yeah.
perception of the world, I think, is just is everything. And I think that being creative about the way that you think about things and wondering about it and questioning and being curious is just what we're all here to do, to try and figure it out and have fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's a huge part of life,
Yeah,
but I don't think people look at it that way. It's like an afterthought most of the time, or
it
not even
is.
a thought at all.
Yeah. I think that's because, though, it's an afterthought in education.
Yeah. Hmm.
We need to go back to the basics and figure out that actually we're supposed to be creative beings, and we're supposed to have fun.
Yeah,
And kids are going to show us the way. So
they are.
get
Mm,
out skipping on the road there.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, this was good. I loved doing this three-part series with you. Thank you
Well,
so
thank you for
much for
saying
the
yes.
idea and for asking. And I really enjoyed it because creativity is like, yeah, it's like now I want to know more. Now I'm gonna like do a deep dive on creativity. So, okay, Beverly, where can people connect with you?
You can find me at Happy Little Humans Play on Instagram, or you can drop me an email at hello@happylittlehumans.com. And yeah, find me wherever Happy Little
Visit your
Humans are.
website,
Visit my
happylittlehumans.com.
website, yeah. Um,
Go
and
check
that's
out
it.
some of her she's got some free resources that you can take advantage of. So go check that out on her
Yeah,
website.
I'm
And
gonna do a new freebie coming out, actually, the Curiosity Challenge. So I'm gonna
ooh,
do easy ways to kind of get creative and play and do things that you already have at hand
I love it.
over 5 days. So
Fun. Okay. Well, look her up on her website or on Instagram so you can find out how to join that challenge. Thank you again for being here and for the work that you do for young children. I
yeah,
appreciate
thank you.
you and your
I appreciate
creativity.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you liked what you heard today, share this podcast with your coworkers, admin, or maybe even your partner. And I love getting 5-star reviews so more people can embrace play. Hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Or connect with me on Instagram or my website, KristenRBPeterson.com. Until next time.